As you are reflecting and you are working on your life purpose statement in this section, I want you to ask yourself some of those hard questions and take the time that you need to say, what is the legacy that I want to leave in my life? What is the impact that I want to make during my life? And while I walk on this earth, who do I want to have affected or impacted in a unique way, in a way that lasts? Knowing who your company, your business that you have started or is already thriving, who are you focused on? Evaluating whether it's, the age group that you think are most going to be drawn to your product or service, whether it is the the amount of money they have, because certain people can or cannot afford the product that you plan to provide. Understanding what is the group that you are going to primarily focus your business towards. For us, as an example, even though we want to help everyone buy and sell a home as a real estate company, we tend to focus on military clients because, one, we love them. Two, many people in our company are military, are ex-military, retired military, spouses of military. And then the fact that our area in Hampton Roads, Virginia has a lot of military people and military bases. So because of that, that is part of how we focus our business. But how are you focusing your business? Who's around you? Or are you going to be advertising only online? That's something very important to think about. Asking these questions about naming your target. You don't want to spend advertising dollars showing ads on accident to 17-year-old kids if you're selling a product that's for a 50-year-old person. And so if you only advertise in places that don't allow you to use any type of age and that type of targeting, I would question, is there a better way to advertise your product? Many times over the years, I would spend money on campaigns that I thought were big and wonderful, but they didn't bring the return on investment. Why? Why? I think many times it was because the audience that whatever the magazine, newspaper, mailings, whatever the effort was, it just didn't fall on the right hands. And that's important. Social media, Google, Bing, all of these companies have made it so that you can do a better job at targeting the people that are most valuable to your business. So defining in advance who is your target market is core essential if you want to be successful in business. Solving problems is the majority of all businesses that you will find. Every business solves a problem. Whether you have a plumbing company, a shoe company, plumbers fix plumbing problems. Shoe companies fix shoe problems. Hair, beauty salons, they fix hair problems. Everybody is solving a problem. What problem does your business solve? If you can nail down a problem and solve that problem, you will find that people will pay you to solve the problem. And if you solve a good problem, a problem that's a valuable problem, they'll pay you more money. So what problems can you solve? Or you can solve them in masses, something you have to sell thousands of, or you can sell them in large chunks. Part of what I love about real estate, cars have great profit margins and can be very successful because they are a more expensive thing, and so you can get a higher piece of the chunk. The same with real estate. If you buy a piece of property and put a commercial building on it, or an office building, or storage units, or residential or rental, you can improve property. You can take an old home and make it pretty. There's so many ways to improve and make larger chunks of money. But most of us find, most people in business, if you are a graphic art student, or you are a design student, or if you're a business student, you're going to find that there's all kinds of problems that you want to solve. You want to provide something. So how are you going to get paid for it? What type of problem will you solve? And how will you ask to be paid for that? Will it be in large chunks, small increments? Will it be per product? Do you make your money not on the first time you sell it, but the 5th time? What type of business? Who are you targeting? And then, how are you going to fulfill your promises to your clients? Someone told me many years ago that when you have an inner belief that is a big picture belief, that you subconsciously move your life towards that belief. And over the last 15 years, after I finished my doctorate and moved into real estate and business and the entrepreneurship journey, I found that to be true. Many years ago, when I did the exercise that I've asked you to do in the program that you have come into, we talk about legacy. And I'll never forget when I reflected on my legacy, and it was so early on, I did not know what I was going to be doing. But I dreamed and I thought, and I remember thinking and dreaming, I want people to say, man, that Brian Simon believed in me and invested into me. And I believe that as I built the real estate company, that if you went around and asked people who have walked in my company in the last 15 years, you will find that there are certain people that would say, man, that Brian Simon invested into me, believed in me, and helped me to go to a different level. And so, for me, when I imagined in my own funeral, what would I want people to be saying, thinking, and or what impact will I've made in their lives? That determination that I made in my heart caused me, I believe, somewhat unconsciously, to make some decisions. And those decisions, many of them, I'm very glad that I made them. I watched that if you give people an opportunity and you provide them, as an entrepreneur does, with a business or a job or an employment or independent contractor role, if you, at that point, you're investing into their business and their training. So during this exercise, I want you to ask yourself those hard questions, the legacy questions. How do you want to be remembered? What impact do you want to make on the lives of other people? And understand that this will become part of how you walk your entrepreneurship business journey. The foundation of an internal legacy desire and understanding will help you to make the decisions that will affect your business and your life in the long term. So take the time, work on this exercise, and I am excited to see if it has the same impact on you that it had on me when I first began to do this type of an exercise in my life. So ask yourself, like Bob Bill challenged me a long time ago when we met, who do you want to be before you die? What do you want to do before you die? It's like the bucket list show. What do you want to have before you die? What do you personally want to have before you die? And who do you want to help before you die? The last thing is, what do you want to leave when you die? Where do you want to pass the wealth that you have achieved? Where do you want to pass the business that you have accomplished? These things are very important to help you to be driven through the journey to achieve your goal and leave the legacy that you want to leave. It's really important that you establish a life purpose statement And this will take some time, but it's worth the trouble. A life purpose statement can help you to have a center part of your inner self that helps you to hold on through the challenges. So a life purpose statement, while you're working on legacy and asking yourself questions like, who do I want to be as I mature over the years? What do I want to accomplish? What do I want to, do I want to have a family? Do I want to raise children? Do I want to raise 1, 2, 5? Or if you're already in a different phase of life and already a retired baby boomer, you're asking yourself different questions. And your life statement might need to adjust a little bit than the one you had while you were running a business or working, in employment. You'll be asking yourself questions about what is my life purpose statement in this phase and where I see my life. This very simple exercise of laying out a life purpose statement, asking the questions like, what will my legacy be? Who do I want to impact? How do I want to impact other people? What is the time that I'm going to invest, going to bring as part of in my life legacy, in my life purpose statement?